Good. So today we are going over 6-3, which is finding percents. Now, you should have your formula written down because this is the formula that we're going to be using pretty much the next week. Okay, and what this formula says is that our percent is always over 100, which we should know that, and that equals our is over our of. Now, I know, what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at number one. Number one says what percent, okay, that's our percent right there, of 144 is 64. Now, once we have that, now we should be able to substitute all of our values into our equation. Right here where it says what percent, that's going to be my percent right there. That's what we're looking for. Now, we'll tell you later this week, it will give us our percent. In fact, I think the last two questions on your homework, it gives you the percent. So instead of a question mark right here, it would actually be a number. Okay, it would be whatever percent it is. And usually the percent is the easiest number to pick out of your problem because it has a percent symbol next to it. Okay? Now we're going to set that equal to our is over our of, which our is fairly simple because, again, usually the word is right in front of the number. So I went ahead and circled these with it. Okay, and our of is going to be 144. Now, once we have that set up, now it looks familiar because it's in proportion form. So now we can cross multiply and divide. Now, I will tell you, our first couple of examples here don't come out nice and even, unfortunately. Okay, so when we cross multiply these, obviously we're going to get 6,400. And I know that I have to divide by the number outside of my loop there. So I have to divide by 144. Now, whenever I divide 6,400 divided by 144, gives me 44.4. Okay, and it actually goes on forever like a repeating decimal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my repetition bar over the 4 there and call that 44.4%. Okay, so on number one, when it says what percent, well, that's actually going to be 44.4% of 144 is 64. Now, if you wanted to check this, you'd have to change 44.4% into a decimal, so that'd be like 0.444, and then multiply that times 144, and that'll give you 64. Okay, or it'll give you somewhere around 64 because of the repeating decimal. But that's how you check your work. All right, let's take a look at number two. Number two, again, we're going to set it up the same way. It asks us what percent. So we're going to have our question mark over 100. And we're going to set that equal to of 91 is 45. So that's going to be, let me see, my is over of. So it's going to be 45 over 91. And again, now I can cross multiply and divide because I have my proportion set up. Okay, so that's going to give me 4,500 divided by 91. Well, whenever I have 4,500 divided by 91, again, that's going to give me gives me 49.45. So I'm just going to round that to the nearest tenth again. So it's going to give me 49.5%. Now, on your homework, I believe most of these are going to come out even, so we won't have to contend with that repeating decimal or rounding. Okay, and we know that 49.5% of 91 is 45. Okay, so let's take a look at our third and final one. Again, this one says, what percent of 240 is 180? Okay, so I'll set that up again. We'll have our question mark over 100, and we'll set that equal to 180 over 240. Okay, now we can cross multiply and divide just like what we have been doing. Okay, so that's going to give me, what, 18,000? We're going to divide that by 240. And I think this one actually comes out even. So we have 18,000 divided by 240. That's going to give me 75. So that one's nice and easy because that's going to be 75%. And that's basically how you are doing your assignment this evening. Just remember, plug your numbers into your formula, and then solve it like you do all your other proportions.